No. Because no one's going to replace your dad.
Right.
No one.
I worry that my dad and the chance of having like a really close relationship with my dad, like slowly going away.
He'd be a great stepdad.
I agree. Yeah. Worried that my relationship with my father will be desolate, will like not exist anymore.
Hey friends, it's Kody from Without a Crystal Ball. Thanks for coming back to my channel. Today we've got another update related to sister wives. And this time the spotlight is on Christine Brown's daughter, Ysabel. She's currently facing a legal issue in Utah involving a car crash that seems to have happened sometime in 2023. Based on available court documents, the case is unfolding in Salt Lake City. The lawsuit appears to be connected to a traffic accident that took place around March 2023. Reports mention that the crash happened in or near Midvale City, Utah, specifically on Interstate 15, which is often packed with cars, especially during busy driving hours. What makes this incident more serious is that it reportedly involved 4 separate vehicles. Let's go back to March 30th, 2023. That's the date tied to a traffic citation filed in Midvale's traffic court. According to the documents, Ysabel was given a ticket for driving too close to the vehicle in front of her. This type of violation is usually issued after a rear-end collision, especially when it's determined that the driver didn't maintain a safe following distance. It's common in multi-car pileups where one car bumps into another, causing a chain reaction. The woman who's suing, Ysabel, claims she was one of the drivers involved in the collision and that the crash happened when Ysabel was behind the wheel. The legal complaint states that Ysabel had a valid driver's license at the time, had completed a driving education course, and was expected to understand basic traffic safety rules. According to her, Ysabel failed to apply that knowledge on the road. The accident itself occurred just south of Winchester Street, an area located in Midvale near the Murray district of Utah. This is close to where Christine Brown and her husband, David, were reportedly living at the time, which might explain why Ysabel was driving in that area. While the complaint doesn't give a full breakdown of injuries or vehicle damage, it suggests that the person filing the lawsuit believes Ysabel's actions caused the crash and is now holding her responsible. The case seems to hinge on the idea that Ysabel didn't follow traffic rules, leading to a dangerous situation involving multiple cars so far. No public response has been made by Ysabel or Christine about the situation. It's possible they are handling it privately or waiting for legal advice before commenting. Since the crash involved several cars and was serious enough to go to court, it's not surprising that legal action followed. We'll continue watching the case closely, and we'll keep you updated as more details come out. Let me know what you think about this situation in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't yet, and click the bell to stay notified about future updates. Thanks for watching, besties. Christine Brown's daughter, Ysabel, is now dealing with a lawsuit following a car crash that reportedly happened in Utah in early 2023, around March or April that year. Christine and her husband David moved into a new home in Lehi, which lines up with the time frame of the accident. According to court documents filed in Salt Lake County, the woman suing Ysabel was driving a gray Subaru Outback on Interstate 15, using the far left lane. Traffic began to slow down, so the woman braked and came to a complete stop. Behind her was another driver, Matias Gonado, who also managed to stop in time. Behind him was Jadat Mariah, who likewise stopped safely. Bell, who was driving a Honda HR-V, was behind all of them. The lawsuit claims she didn't slow down in time and hit Mr. Mariah's car hard enough to push it forward. That impact caused a chain reaction, where Mr. Mariah's vehicle hit Mr. Gonado's, and Mr. Gonado's car hit the Subaru driven by the plaintiff. The person filing the lawsuit says Ysabel didn't take the necessary precautions to avoid the crash. According to her, Ysabel didn't keep a safe distance, failed to watch the road carefully, and didn't slow down when traffic conditions required it. The woman says the result was a serious accident that left her with injuries, some of which may be long-lasting in Utah. Car accidents are handled under a no-fault system, meaning drivers typically deal with their own insurance companies for injury claims. However, Utah also allows people to sue for damages if they're less than 51% responsible for what happened. If that's the case, they can seek compensation for injuries, medical bills, and other damages like pain and emotional suffering. In this situation, the woman likely contacted Ysabel's insurance company first. If the insurance didn't cover the full damages or denied the claim, she would then be allowed to take legal action, which explains why the lawsuit was filed over a year later. On June 23, 2024, the complaint says the woman has over $3,000 in medical bills and ongoing health problems. She claims the crash disrupted her life, made it hard to do her regular activities, and caused emotional distress. She's asking for payment not just for past expenses, but also for future care, lost quality of life, and anything else the court finds fair. She's also requested a jury trial. Interstate 15, where the accident happened, is known for frequent traffic collisions. The area is often congested and may become dangerous during winter. Fortunately, this particular crash didn't involve any fatalities. It doesn't appear that Ysabel was physically harmed, but the woman suing her was. These chain reaction crashes are common in heavy traffic. Many drivers have experienced close calls or minor fender benders in similar situations. One wrong move, a slight delay in reaction, and suddenly several cars are involved. That seems to be what happened here. There have been other accidents just like this one where a small crash leads to multiple cars getting hit and traffic coming to a stop. In fact, back in April, there was a 7-car pileup in the same area. This section of I-15 in Utah seems to have a high number of crashes. It could be because the traffic is always heavy, or maybe it's because of bad weather or poor visibility. Whatever the reason, this stretch of highway sees a lot of collisions. The truth is, car accidents can happen to anyone. Sometimes it's our fault, and other times it's not. That's why this situation makes me feel bad for Ysabel. Around the time of this crash, she was already going through a lot. Her mom had just moved into a new place with her new partner. Ysabel was starting college and adjusting to many changes in her life. With everything going on, it's easy to imagine that her mind was overwhelmed. From what we know, she stayed at the scene and received a ticket. Shows she took responsibility in the moment. What feels strange, though, is that the lawsuit wasn't filed until 2 years later. This delay reminds me of a similar situation involving her brother Paedon. Back in 2018, he was also in a rear-end accident on a busy street in Nevada. In that case, both Paedon and their father Kody were named in the lawsuit because Kody owned the vehicle involved. That case ended up going through arbitration, where both sides explained their medical costs, and a final decision was made by a neutral third party. The result was that Paedon and Kody had to pay over $30,000. There was also a problem with their insurance, either because they didn't have enough coverage or weren't properly insured. With Ysabel, there hasn't been much information yet about insurance. The lawsuit itself is a little vague and doesn't provide clear details, such as the date of the crash or the accident report. It only mentions that the injured woman has medical bills and other losses. Hopefully, Ysabel had the right insurance coverage at the time. If she didn't, that could make things much harder for her. When people buy older cars, they often skip full coverage because they think it's not worth it. I used to do the same when I was younger. But in hindsight, it's a risky decision. Not having enough coverage means that if you're involved in a crash, your policy might only pay for your own injuries, not anyone else's. Accidents like this are scary, and they happen in an instant. Hopefully, Ysabel won't have to go through a trial. I also hope that if the woman who filed the lawsuit really suffered serious harm, she's able to receive the help and money she needs to cover her medical bills and get back on her feet. Let me know what you think in the comments. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next update. Thanks for being here. See you next time.